yeah, look at that! The diff turret on top has managed to survive. That cram cannon basically gently kissed the deck as it whiffed over. Hello everyone who occasionally remembers that, oh yeah, you have a giant hydrofoil battleship in your back pocket. I am BorderWise and welcome back to From the Depths. I should have made a video about the particular thing we're about to do some time ago, but I'll fill you in. This is the Drakenslang Mark II. If you don't know her, she's a big-ass hydrofoil battleship I made a long time ago specifically to fight Gmodism's Eric of Gmodism, Empire of Gmodism. You might know him. His battleship Gimle, specifically the Mark II version, because we had the fight with the Mark I and my fight with the Mark II, and it turned out to be like kind of evenly matched for the most part. Like, it is a weird coincidence that the Drakenslang won in the videos I did on it, and the Gimle won on his videos. I assure you there was no foul play. But anyway, there's a Patreon reward in my Patreon Discord, which is that you can request me build something with you within reason. Like, please don't ask me to, like, have a 10-to-1 scale version of the Yamato, for instance, because, like, that is insane. I can't do that. There's not enough time in the world. But the other month, like last month specifically, I think, Patron the General asked me to make a Mark III of the Drakenslang. Now, here's the thing. I had zero motivation to make a Mark III of the Drakenslang. I have tried before, and I couldn't get up steam. I've been rather fizzled out on From the Depths recently. It's been a little bit of a struggle to get content out. Maybe you've noticed, maybe you haven't. But now you're going to notice. Please like, comment, and subscribe to make me feel better about my life. But anyway, so I've done it now. And I resigned myself to the fact of, like, you know what, bro? Just have fun. Like, try and have fun with the damn thing. Like, you know, trying to make things perfect. I am infamous, or famous, or just known by the people who know my existence, that, like, optimization is the enemy of the fun. Trying to get things perfect from the depths takes, like, you could spend hundreds of hours on one craft, so I haven't bothered. So here's the Mark III. Brace yourself, she's silly. Also, Future B, remember to put up a picture of Gmodism's Gimle, because the Gimle is massive, it's 80,000 blocks and takes a while to spawn in. So, I'm sure you have questions, and firstly, I should probably show you the innards of the Drakenslang Mark I. So, I was trying to do a lot of things here with Draki number 1. And I basically repulled all the internals from scratch, but they are quick and lazy and nasty. So, what do we got here? We've got diff guns on the fore and aft, that's what those are. We've got a whole bunch of, we got basically a whole extended deck, I believe is what you would call this. With big props on it, very, very nice. We've got 2 triple APS guns at the front. What gauge are these? I think there's a 457 millimeters. Is that what they are? Please tell me. 378. I was only 100 millimeters off. No biggie. Hybrid railguns. And they do pretty good. Shells fairly slow. Okay. And then big-ass laser component right in the middle here with a steam engine. Lasers, because, like silly me, I was trying to build an all-rounder craft that is far larger than any campaign would ever require, when I should have been thinking along the lines of, like, tournament craft, I guess. Anyway, lots of injector engines too, because, like, I hate efficiency, apparently. 2 stonking big double crams, not as strong as the ones on the Gimle, of course not. Incidentally, well, we'll get to that. And then some surge protectors, and it's mirrored on the back, so, you know, you're pretty sure. Well, firstly, I would like to point out that Draki Mark II is like 2.1 million materials. Draki 3 is 1.9 million materials. She is a lot cheaper. She's also a lot shorter. So I've decided to, like, alright, you know what we should do? We should cut off some excessive length. So, Draki 2 is 578 meters long. Draki 3 is 377 meters long. So, and also considerably less blocks, I think. Yep, almost 10,000 less blocks. That was just from the fore and aft extended deck here. So, I'm going to help my frame rate along by getting you the hell out of the universe. Oh, that's so much nicer. Alright, so the internal, firstly, I want you to introduce you to the little dragon thing on the front. That is very silly. Like, I was in a silly mood. I went into silly mode, just a little bit. We've still got some nice big props. These are prefabbed ones. They are not incredible, but they do. Still got the whole hydrofoil thing, and still got... What the hell was I doing when I did this? I tested against some campaign vehicles, and, well, this thing does run aground sometimes. We should probably talk about the laser. This is a Pierce laser, and, starting back here... oh yeah, little dragony tail back here, just for sillies. This thing, I think, might be uglier than the Mark II, so I think I might have failed there. But anyway, so there's a laser. There's a thing you can do with lasers if you want them at an angle, is that you can stack sub-objects. This is a 2-axis turret, and it's got a laser stacked off there, and then there's a laser over here, and I have done... Let me see if I can go find the thing. Let's see if I can go find the thing. Where's the thing? Stealth, so this kind of thing. So, this kind of craft, and yes, it is a canoe, where you have basically superstructure on the back with a laser just on the rear, it works weirdly well. On craft like this, it rarely gets hit like in the rear if it can maintain a consistent broadside. However, and I've just realized that like this thing, just in terms of shaping, looks a lot better than Draki 3. Whoopsie daisy. On Draki 3, what happens is that this tends to get shot off first, which is hilarious. You get out of here. And now we should probably show you the internal. So this is all APS. Oops. So, what do we got here? We've just got redundancy. Its main defense is redundant. This does not have active defenses like Draki 2 or, for that matter, Draki 1 does. It just has redundancy and, like, well, a lot of stone around key areas. So... Please, please, please. There we go. So what do we got here? We've got just lots of stone poles between the injector engines. Lots of them, lots of them, lots of them. We have redundant... I'm not sure why I did away completely with the azipods. I think it's just because I, like, cut this thing and... cut the front and back in, like, half. I don't know, duct tape. This was a fever dream to build this thing. The guns, in case you're wondering, they are 322mm, and they are a mixture... what are they? They are incendiary frag, AP incendiary frag, and AP frag heat, because I tend to find that this absolutely chews through, well, specifically the Gimle. It can kind of tickle other things that spam heavy armor, but is not especially good at it. So, that's it, and they're not railguns either, they're just pure APS, relatively cheap, in comparison to railguns at the very least, and it's just the same turret over there, because I decided, you know what? Crams do not work well against the Gimle in particular, because she's got actually a lot of specialized anti-cram defenses, so we're not going to bother. But we are, and also this is an afterthought diff thing, is like, you know what, there's no superstructure on here, what do we do? You might be wondering, well, what else is here? Well, there's a thing I've been doing recently, which seems to work incredibly well if your turrets are big enough for it. Every single one of these turrets is controlled by a separate AI that's on the turret itself. Why have you done this? Well, firstly, it means that you need to disable every single turret in order to fully AI kill this thing, not counting the laser turret, which is, like, on the hull itself. And secondly, it means you can just, like, slap these turrets down wherever, like, it's all there. It also means that, like, it's essentially a little bit of volume saving. Like, you basically shove the AI compartment onto the back of the turret. And the turret itself, it just means you can, like, concentrate defenses around it. What have I done here? I believe I've just got a double layer of, like, what have I done? Oh, no. Alright, let's have a look-see. Right, so alloy and... Actually, no, it's just heavy armor on the front and metal on the back. So the armor is not amazing. This thing mostly relies on size and... What else does it do? This thing relies on size and redundancy more than anything else to survive, and it seems to do a good job. It is quite a dramatic fight when I put it against the Gimle. By the way, I have tested this against the Gimle Mark II multiple times, and that's the fight we're going to see. Because Gmodism has not put the Mark III Gimle up on the workshop as of yet. That might be a Patreon reward over in his neck of the woods, I'm not sure. Maybe I should have checked, but I didn't. I am lazy. But anyway, we're going to throw this fella against the Mark III. I'm against the Mark II, sorry. And we're going to see how she does. She has won every single time, but knowing my damn luck, she's probably going to get stage fright, because you know how it goes. When the camera starts rolling, your craft just rolls over and dies, I guess. So yeah, it's got some token laser, but it's an overall very simple design, and you'll notice that here, right in the midsection, there isn't anything. You might say that's a waste of space, but that is, part of me design philosophy. Now, wow, like, what the hell happened here? I think I actually was experimenting with putting, like, custom jets in here at one point, and I just forgot. I just, like, this kind of leaving the central area empty, I think actually works kind of well for Broadsiders, because it means that the enemy AI, particularly anything controlling a slow weapon, like a cram cannon, for instance, tends to aim just forward or just to the rear of the center of mass, which means when your vehicle turns, it's more likely to miss. That does seem to be the case. The Gimle seems to miss this thing in full motion a lot more. That is the plan. Actually, we should, like, get this thing getting full tilt in a direction so you can see how fast it moves. It is damn fast at... Yeah, well, there you go. The thing tops out at about 92 meters per second in a straight line, and turns really well. It also sounds terrible because there's lots of small custom jets on it, just for giggles. So... Wow, I have been waffling for 11 minutes. So let's go throw this thing against the Gimle best of 3, and we'll see how we do. See you there! Here we have the Drakenslang Mark III on the left, and on the right we have the Army of G-Moderism BB Gimle class battleship. I'm trying to remember, is this the Mark II or the Mark... I really hope this is the Mark II. I'm going to be very embarrassed if it isn't. I think it is. I tried to find on the workshop the Gimle, but like I don't think she's there anymore. So, man, I hope this is at least a reasonably up-to-date version. Otherwise, I am going to be embarrassed. Anyway, she hasn't quite loaded in all her fleet colors yet. And, actually, I'm going to reset this and, like, load her with her fleet colors, just to be sure, because she's very pretty. She is very pretty, and she has, a very specific kind of fleet color, which you absolutely should see, because it is pretty. G-Moderism really did cook on the Gimle. And the Mark III, I think, it's made a lot of improvements. I do admire G-Moderism's ability to actually commit to, like, massive individual craft like this, because I am struggling to do that right now. Possibly because making a custom campaign absolutely kills your desire to, like, make, you know, giant vehicles, like, of your very own for just, you know, just for giggles. And over here, yes, of course, we have Draki 3. We've seen her. Alright, it's been... So just have them fight. I should also mention as well that, Draki 3 broadsides only to the right, or to the left. And that is very much by design. And let's see, is this going to be on target? No, it isn't. Hooray! Yeah, she does broadside right. She did a bit of a wiggle. This is where she usually loses a turret or two, when she screams in close to get the broadside angle. She also broadsides at, like, I think exactly 2,000 meters. So, oh god, that's loud. Oh boy. Hello, lag, my old friend. I've come to talk with you again. And it's missed! Wow! Maybe what... Okay, never mind, I spoke too soon. Gods. Yep, and there goes that turret. And probably a load of engines, too. Yep, and that diff gun never survives particularly long. Like, I never really put my stock in it. I should probably slow the game down a little bit, but maybe degraded mode will leave us be eventually. Wow, wow. For once in this thing's life, it managed to do a drive-by on the Gimle and actually survive for the most part. And now, once it's gotten into... Yep, that's a cramshell that just went... Whee! Did that laser survive? I can't actually tell. Oh, here comes cramshells. Here comes cramshells. Da 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 da. Oh, right. I forgot something important. I need to turn off the render distance mod, otherwise, like, this lags like crazy. There we go. We can see traces again. My bad. All right. Let's see how Gimle is doing. Whee! So every single one of those guns is controlled by a separate AI, and they zero in on one block and they will aim at it for a full minute. So they do grind through things quite nicely, and they do seem to very consistently aim for, well, the turrets on the Gimle, because that's a lot of, like, concentrated blocks. Currently, Draki 3 is winning. Also, I should mention that the Gimle is, like, built to, like, very specific, like, essentially tournament standards as of right now. And Draki 3 would not be allowed, because I believe one of the rules in the Gimle tournaments has been that you can't get more than 2,000 meters away, because, well, that kind of sucks. That does tend to favor Cram in the rule set, which I guess is kind of the point. But yeah, Draki 3 would get disqualified, like, under those rule sets. So, like, no. This is not official rules. I didn't win any tournament here. And there goes a turret. That's more like it. Starting to worry me, Gimle. Alright, Draki 3 still winning. That in AP Incendiary does a real number on the Gimle in particular, because it relies mostly on, well, size and redundancy. And the thing is that repeated APS shots in the same place do terrible things to things with thin armor, just generally no matter what. And one specific weakness of the Gimle is that the LAMS is connected to the offensive laser system. It runs off the exact same system, which is a bit of a problem, because it means that if you overwhelm the LAM, say by chucking way too many APS shells at it, the offensive laser stops firing. And that's a bit of an issue. So let's actually see what happens here. I think those cram shells are actually on target. Please hit the thing you already killed. Okay, they missed. So this, I'm not gonna lie, this always kind of makes me a little sad. We're moving, how fast is this thing moving? It is moving at it's moving at about 90 meters per second and keeping its distance. And that's all it really needed to do. And it is slaughtering this absolutely gorgeous battleship right now. Well, I say slaughtering, it's got a 6% health lead, but the thing about those cram cannons, they only really need to get lucky occasionally to, like, take, like, 10% of your health off all at once. What's happening in here? I want to pause and have a little look. This is best of 3, by the way. And so, yeah, like, we've immediately gotten in there, and there's a cram thingy. Cram cannon. I know what a cram cannon is. I swear I know. And yeah, this is the problem just with ships in general in From the Depths. Like, I don't want to, like, rant about the meta again. I think people have heard enough of that from me, honestly. But yeah, why would you build a big slow ship? There's no point. But big slow ships is what we want to make. Well, not that slow. And poor Gimle is just trying to turn and face and do honorable battleship duel, but instead my stupid hydrofoil, which has basically had the internals rebuilt from scratch and had considerably less thought put into it, is killing it. I'm not gloating. I am not gloating. Like I said, the Gimle is made to, like, basically a specific tournament standard. Or at least that's basically what it ended up as. And also, this isn't the Mark III. The big thing with this version of the Gimle, for sure, is like, you see these big railguns? These things right here. I forget what Jimerism calls them. It's a something sniper, but like, yeah, they're very strong. They just fire pure AP shells, and aim below the waterline to put holes straight through ships. The thing is, aiming for blocks below the waterline is a bad idea on a hydrofoil, because the blocks just below the waterline are those, well, they're those useless little rubber things. So those APS guns really don't do that much. However, I know for a fact from sneakily watching the footage of the Mark III is that they don't have that weakness. So I suspect the Mark III would, like, would ruffle stomp the Mark III Drakenslang as it is right now, because, well, this thing is, like, well, tailored specifically for a older version of the Gimle, so to speak. What is happening over there? I want to see the crams. I want to see the crams. I want to see the crams. That cram looks like it's going places. Yes, it is! See what I mean? And now there's only 2 big guns that are still alive. And I think a lot of them are damaged. So yeah, Gimle down, but not out. Well, actually, not even down, really. There's still, what's it, 3 big cram cannons that are, like, all good, so to speak. Also, the accuracy of those guns tends to, like, bad things happen to them. Alright, we are about 3.5 minutes in, and that is what's happening. So yeah, it's literally just redundancy here. That is all that is happening. I did also try and make this thing turn a lot better. Honestly, the old Draki would have done a lot better in terms of, oh boy, that's not good. Misses by inches. I also, like, seem to recall that, like, for some reason I thought the Gimle had timed fuses. Apparently not. Or at least this version of the Gimle doesn't. Humorism, like, I am going to be chucking Draki 3 up on the workshop because I would love to see how the Mark III Gimle handles this. I suspect she'll do a lot better. I forget all the upgrades you've done, but I suspect there's a lot of them. Expensive, delicious, crunchy. It is so weird looking at the non-render distance mod water. But man oh man, my graphics card does like the old water better. That sounded significant. What was that? Ah, that's what happened. Also, it is very impressive, just like the Gimle, even with the crams heavily damaged, they still do a lot of damage. That is one of the beautiful... That is one of the beautiful things about 3D Cram Tetris. It's wonderfully redundant. There's a lot of connectors in there. It's hard to sever things entirely. That bloody laser is still firing. This is the first time I've seen this thing fight ye olde Gimle. And, like, the laser hasn't been horribly crippled. That's usually one of the first things to go. Is anything on this... Oh my word, that poor little turret is doing its best. Oh dear. Alright, so Gimle is at 77% health. 77% health. And what's happening here? Lots of blocks have been taken off. Crams are being tickled just a little bit. Gently tickled. Like, when you actually start seeing, like, cram components fall off the Gimle, that's when you know, aha! Why did I do that? What's happening over here with you, Draki? Draki, you menace to society. Also, we must all salute Humanism for actually attempting to use mortars. Because mortars are not good, usually. Actually, when you get to ships which are this big, mortars are actually kind of decent, because... when you have something that is like, you know, 1/3 of a kilometer long, even if it moves quickly, usually... Uh-oh, I'm scared. And that right there is why it's so nice that it's mostly empty space in the middle here. Because look at what that did. Basically nothing. I am a fan now of just having, like, empty middle space in a broadsider. Just seems to work well. Good anti-cram measure. Uh-oh. That's not good. Oh, no, we're good. We're fine. We're Gucci. Don't ever buy Gucci. It's a terrible brand. Highly overrated. It's the kind of brand that's just expensive because it's the brand. Literally saw Gucci stuff being made in Italy. It's, like... not that I'm that well-traveled, but it's just coincidental. I happen to see it. Alright then. APS spam is winning the day once again. Apologies to all cram gunners, including myself. Wow, did that... does this cram, like... oh my goodness, that cram has been crippled. Oh my goodness, look at this little cram. It's so much less strong than it used to be. Watch this absolutely tear through Draki 3. See? What did I tell you? Although I have to say, like, there was more than a little inspiration from the Gimle with Draki 3. Particularly, lots of empty space in key areas. Like, if you put absolutely nothing in key areas, it actually works really, really well. That actually looked like a very... yep, there we go. That frickin'... whatchamacallit. Them railguns are actually doing something now. See? If it did that more often... Draki 3 would not survive. She would not survive. Let's be honest. Please stop aiming for the superstructure. There's nothing important up there. Although you are going to turn that particle cannon off, and that's always appreciated. Where are you aiming? That's where you're aiming. Yeah, so 180, like, AP Frag is just... It's just so good, simply because those fragments have reach that just APHE just doesn't. And don't talk to me about AP Flak. I don't think that was ever really good. That was a meme shell to begin with. It's even worse now. Alright, so we got... Hey, 69% the funny number. We need to wait till that happens. And now we've strategically poked holes through absolutely everything. Yeah, the Gimle is like... Here's the thing. I have views on ERA armor. I generally don't think it's worth it. Mostly because... Against very specific things, it works great. Against everything else, it does not work very great. I do also think, like, hot take here, and feel free to disagree with me if I'm wrong, that's why it's a hot take. What did that do? Basically nothing. It took off armor and that's it. I think people might think too much of APS when armoring their vehicles. It's one of the reasons I'm a fan of poles these days, is because it's better health per volume than beam slopes. Yes, there's better kinetic reduction, but Sabot and Plasma and Missiles and Thump and HE and just all that kind of stuff doesn't care about kinetic damage reduction anyway, or at least Sabot cares slightly less. So I'm like, if you want armor that's decently bad against everything, you might as well use poles. I think Melchiorada has a point. If you don't know who Melchiorada is, they are the #1 proponent of poles. Not Polish people. That would be weird. But yeah, they're #1 pole proponent, so to speak. Are there bits falling off? Yep, Draki is, yep, definitely bits falling off. It does look quite cool. I like a low-slung craft like this. And it's very recognizably the Drakenslang, even though it's been sawn off. Like the Drakenslang 3, if the Draki 2 is like a rifle, Draki 3 is more like a shotgun, specifically a sawn off one. Except the barrels haven't been sawn off, the bow and stern have been sawn off. And that's, well, that's one way to do it, I guess. That's one way to make your craft smaller and cheaper. Whee! Okay, 63% health for the Gimle. You never know, though. That's the thing. Like, this is what drives me nuts about this kind of fight as well, is that RNG. Like, in that initial pass, spawning at 2,000 meters apart, which is my standard, I believe, really with ships this big, because they have turning circles that can be measured in kilometers, you should spawn them further away. But that feels like giving too much of an advantage to Draki, and I don't want to do it. It's just like, I lose a turret. Oh dear, I think all of Gimle's, I think all of the main cram turrets are disabled. Let's see if any of them fire. Oh, those railguns are still firing, though, that's for sure. And the mortars are still firing as well. Man, the thing with cram cannons is, how do you make them better without making them overpowered? I guess that's a problem with, like, literally everything in front of this, is how make better without make overpowered? Part of me just says, like, maybe we should just remove crams entirely and allow APS to go up to 2,000 millimeters, but, like, that would probably go down like a lead balloon and be like a balancing nightmare, and also way too late in the game's development. I was actually thinking earlier today, it's like, actually, I can think of things that would be awesome for a From the Depths 2. And one of them probably would be merge crams and APS together, because like crams are just kind of a lame duck. It is awesome how they can just rip turrets off like that, but it's just like in the overall meta of the game, they're not used much. And like one part of the reason for that is like it is rare to see cramcraft like on the workshop and in custom campaigns. Honestly, like there are so few cramcraft, like in Platono, the custom campaign that myself and my community is working on, basically none. Like, but I know there's a few, not many at all. Alright, so looks like we are coming up with a time limit. It's going to be done in about 5... Well, not 5 seconds. What the hell am I talking about? It's about 30 seconds, give or take. Let's see if Draki 3 can actually get the Gimle to despawn. So I'm going to speed up the footage here just a little smidge, and I'll see you then. And that's time! Did I even need to speed that up? Alright, so Draki 3 definitely won round 1, but it's best of 3, damn it. Let's see. I actually do kind of want to see if the Gimle can get lucky and just, like, decapitate all the turrets of Draki 3 just on that first pass, because that's where she's got to win. That's where the magic needs to happen, is just that first pass, Draki 3 swings past, and gets too close because turning radius of a frickin' continent, despite my best efforts, and it's like, yeah, let's see what happens. Let's see what happens. Only gotta take a million years to load. Where's everyone? There's everyone. Alright, yeah, pedantic. Alright, round 2, let's go. Right, so first she wiggles to the left, to the right, and then she wiggles to the left, and it looks like that... Where's that cram volley going? That might be good. Oopsie daisy. Oops! Yep, there it goes. I think that that turret... No, it's not disabled. What did that do? Aha! Would you look at that? It just barely missed. Well, it didn't really miss, let's be honest. Alright, thank goodness I remembered to frickin' turn off the funky water, otherwise this would take too long. Alright, let's see. Big cram shells coming in. It is going to... What is it going to do? A lot. Because of degraded mode, I couldn't really see what happened. Ah, look at that! The diff turret on top has managed to survive. That cram cannon basically gently kissed the deck as it whiffed over. Alright, so Draki is now... Wow, how fast is this thing moving? It's going full tilt. Yeah. That's fast. Whee! Alright. So, was running behind, now is in the lead. Once again, the bloody laser is actually surviving. That never happens. The camera does weird things to From the Depths vehicles. It does very strange things. And here's the thing about crams missing. When your crams miss, it is the worst thing ever. When enemy crams miss, it feels so good. It feels like genuinely nice. And it's like, I feel hypocritical celebrating that. But at the same time, I don't. So I feel hypocritical about feeling hypocritical. Have you ever felt hypocritical about feeling hypocritical? It is a strange feeling. I'm gonna finish off my coffee while I'm here. Look at those crams whiff. Whee! What am I locked onto? Help! Would you believe that I forgot I had a delicious coffee next to me? That is very silly, isn't it? Alright, it is pretty even at the moment. Draki at roughly 96, and Army Gmonism at, well, just dropped below 94. Where's that cram going? It missed. Degraded mode, I would love it if you stopped. Degraded mode, please stop. Alright, let's see, what is happening to... Oh, wow, that was a lucky shot there. That cram got disabled entirely. This thing's going absolutely full tilt, staying behind the Gimle. This is the inherent problem with having a monosider that is on the surface and, you know, can't be, like, super, like, maneuverable because it's a... Excuse me, because it's a board. It is unfortunate. I think, actually, this is going even worse for the Gimle than the first time. Although, let's see what this cram shell does. Maybe I spoke too soon. Uh-oh, that's not good. Once again, let's see here. What did that do? I think that took out some engine components, and that was about it. Yeah, that's literally all it did. It tickled some engines. That could have been a lot worse. How about that one? That just went for a swim. Alright, whatever deep-sea fish are down there, like, you better watch out. Draki is moving on. Let's go look at this before those crams actually land. Oh wow, the Drakenslang is actually getting luckier with its shots this time. Humanism? You better, like, you better give the Draki 3 what for with your Mark... You better give the Draki 3 what for with your Mark 3 Gimle. Actually, I haven't checked Humanism's channel in a while. Like, maybe he's already, like, chucked things against the Draki Mark II. I think he would have pinged me in it, though. He would have added me. I wouldn't want to miss that. The Drakenslang getting beaten the hell up? Why would I want to miss that? I do have to say, and, like, patting myself on the back, like... Well, let's pat Humanism a little bit first. Let's give him a friendly pat, like... Pat. I have no idea what that sounded like. I literally just patted my microphone. The Gimle is a very unique craft in terms of like things I've personally seen in From the Depths, and so is the Drakenslang. I haven't seen, like, you don't see many hydrofoil battleships around, which is a shame because they're really good and they're really fun. I need to make more of them. Well, I guess I know what I'm doing for my godly Nita run. Just need to make an absolute... I mean, I guess I could use this thing. Like, if you've got enough money, you can just make, you know, Draki 3. This goes for everyone. This goes for you as well, because I'll be sharing this one on the workshop preemptively. Also, everyone can thank the General for motivating me to actually make Draki 3. Oh dear. Those are very unhappy cram cannons. Alright, so Draki 3 has an 11% health lead at the moment. Wow, the bad things have happened over here. Can degraded mode please stop? I don't know why it's more degraded mode than before. Maybe it's just because, like, everything's at such a, like, huge distance. Whoopsie daisy, let's follow this cramshell. Is it just because, like, a lot of blocks are falling off the Gimle? Draki, how far away are you? Are you being an absolute weenie and, like, yeah, you're over 3,000 meters away. Despite your best efforts. Damn, look at that mortar dodge. Dodging mortars like crazy. To be fair to Draki, she's not trying to say 3,000 meters away. She is trying to close in just a little bit. She's not completely cheaty, she's just mostly cheaty. And yes, I know, like, in the context of From the Depths, keeping your distance is not cheating, per se. It is one of your better defenses against cram cannons. And part of the reason I did this is just focusing on redundancy and just, I don't know, going fast, is because I'm sick and tired of diff CWIS. I hate the whole concept of it. I think direct input feed APS needs a rework, because it's one of those things that's either really good or bloody annoying and useless. Because as fun as it is to shoot 10 meter, 500mm shells, it just kind of, it's a little bit strange. It's a little bit like the tractor beams. It's like, alright, I thought they were supposed to be consistent. Is the Gimle sinking? She is! Oh dear. She must have gotten some of her engines taken out. For the record, the Gimle can float on her own. She's got a lot of wood and alloy on her, but aesthetically, she's actually lifted out of the water with, like, props. Which, like, honestly, that's a ballsy move. Like, you just burn thousands of, like, materials per minute to make your ship float at a more aesthetically pleasing height. That's the Empire of G-Minism for you. They are, I guess, financially successful? I don't know. Like, something, you gotta go with vibes, man. You gotta go with vibes. Alright, Gimle's doing even worse this round than before. Where are all those shells going? Ah, yes, degraded mode, my old friend. Maybe if I slow the game down just a tad. Nope, that's not what's happening. That's not what's happening? Let's follow this cramshell. Where are you going? What are you doing? Where are you pudding? Cotton Eye... Jimming? I don't know. Aha! That front APS got disabled somehow. I'm guessing the railguns did that. Look at this episode. Did I mention this thing? At one point I got fed up with this thing and converted it entirely to alloy. I frickin' love, like, alloy, just in general, because it's like, it makes craft more maneuverable. It means they have less mass, which means less momentum, which means they turn faster. I will never apologize for my love of alloy, except for all the times I did. Oh dear. Once again, driving really fast at irresponsible speeds has resulted in victory. This was savage. I would feel bad, but I'm kind of happy. I'm happy that my up-to-date Drakenslang has beaten this not quite up-to-date version of the Gimle. I don't know what version of the Gimle this is. I really hope this isn't the first one. That would be sad. That would be sad and disappointing. But yes, like, this just goes to show that you can be like, listen, you can faff around with being clever, or you can have redundancy and fire lots of bullets, and drive really fast. That is my favorite way to play From the Depths, because it is mostly idiot-proof. You never know, I can be like a really champion idiot. Uh-oh, that cram looks... Wow, it didn't penetrate. Fuse must have been disabled. Whee! Alright, is the Gimle gonna sink is the question. And now, Draki is actually circling round. Where are those crams going? They've missed horribly. Draki's actually gonna circle around to, like, the really unarmored side of the Gimle. Like, to give you... The Gimle is a right-sider, just in case anyone would have had any doubt whatsoever, which means the armor on the... The armor on the rear, I think it's, like, really token. It's, like, 2 meters of, like, slopes. So, yeah. You don't see that many right-siders or, like, mono-broadsiders in general. It's just, like, I think probably because of, like, maneuvering them is a pain in the arse. Although, like, honestly, it's better than, like, if you're gonna have hull-mounted weaponry, it's better to have that than, like, than what, you know, than ye old Age of Sail things. I don't like hull-mounted weapon broadsiders, by the way. I mean, I don't dislike them. What the hell am I saying? I just don't think they're very good, because it means that you can't bring 100% of your main weapons to bear on the target. Draki, you are 3,000 meters away, that's rude. Like, I'm gonna double check the AI, because I didn't actually intend for them to be like that. I did actually intend for them to circle closer than that. So yeah, like, in the actual proper tournament-y type tournament that Gmodism set up, Draki 3 would get disqualified immediately. So yeah. That would be a very anticlimactic video if he decides to actually do that. Although he is like... Okay, Draki 3 is swinging around to where there are somewhat intact cram cannons, especially this one over here, and that one might just blow her head off. Look at you trying to reverse. Oh, that's a sluggish cram cannon. Nope, that might land on target. Following. Where's that going? Uh-oh. That's not good. Oh, no. Wow, that missed. Man. When you have something that's like almost 400 meters long and can dodge shells like that, yeah, that's pretty good. Oh, by the way, in case anyone's wondering, what did I do? I think Draki 3 can, she can take on the Pyre, partially because the Pyre drives like an idiot and tends to fly straight over things these days. Collision avoidance is a bummer. That looks dangerous. No, it isn't. Okay, cool. She can take on the Pyre. She cannot take on the Laniakea. The Laniakea, like, you know, absolutely murders her. Which is as expected, honestly. Like, you know, you can't fight the Laniakea by fighting, like, you know, fair and honorably with broadsiding battleships. Ah, boy, you can fight the Laniakea with missiles, though. Hee. Maybe I should do that. Hee. Alright then, are we actually going to get a despawn on Gimle here? Are we going to manage it? I think she's immobilized. How fast is she moving? She is moving at a blistering max of 10 meters per second. Well then. I think this cram's actually quite damaged. It's not doing as much damage as it should be. Draki, can you please stop? You can get a little closer. Actually, don't do that. Keep your distance. Oh no, I have regrets. Well, yep, that's a heavily damaged cram cannon. Also, I did try and do some aesthetics for Draki. She still has, I should mention... Oh no, it's been shot up a little bit, unfortunately. She still has the artwork. And the only artwork that has survived is the "You Can Do It!" Hashtag BorderWise. That's me, in case you forgot. If you forgot which YouTuber was, like, doing this YouTube video, that's concerning. Concern is occurring. What the hell happened this time that Draki did so much better than round one? Like, what happened? Did, like, more guns survive? Probably. Oopsie. Oh, my lord. Oh, she just cut the superstructure off. Ooh. I do have to say, one of my favorite things about the Gimle, and there's a long list of favorites, is just how cool it is when you manage to sever the superstructure, because the superstructure is big and impressive, and when it goes, it looks spectacular. So well done, Gimlism, like, with that, it's an accomplishment, I think, to make a ship that's, like, fun to blow up. Like, and the Gimle is fun to blow up. It'll just blow you up just as easily. Alright, so, well done me. You've managed to beat up the not up-to-date version of the Gimle. Great. Alright, so Gmonism, only if you feel like it. The link to Draki 3 will be down in the comments, and I would absolutely love to see what the updated Gimle does to Draki 3. I suspect Draki 3 will not do so well. I suspect she'll get annihilated, which will be hilarious and cool. So yeah, that's it for this video, jeez. Draki 3, Draki 3, Draki 3, tee-hee-hee. I'm trying to think what else rhymes with 3. I can't remember what rhymes with 3. Tree, yes, that's it. Draki 3 no longer made of tree. Actually, she kind of is. There's a bit of wood on her. Let's go have a look at her. Like, what's the damage? What's the damage there? Actually, what would happen if, like I said before, if Gmonism, like, decides to, like, chuck this thing in the actual rule set he's got for the Gimle, which is more of a tournament craft than anything else, to be perfectly honest, is that the Draki 3 would drive too far away and then despawn horribly. So that would be an instant loss right there. Hooray! Vicatory in this color. So yeah, let's linger on Draki shooting at things because that's cool. Alright then. So once again, thanks to the General for incentivizing me to actually make Draki 3. I actually ended up having fun with it, particularly testing her. And thank you all so much for watching. Actually, before I thank you for watching, thank you, Gmonism, for making the Gimle. It is a corking good craft. I still use it as a testing, as like, you know, I still use it as a target practice dummy sometimes because there's no other thing quite like it. And now I can say thank you all so much for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe if you want to see more videos like this. Support me on Patreon or YouTube membership if you like. It really helps, and there's fun perks in it for you. Like, at the lowest tier, access to a Patreon-exclusive Discord. And at higher tiers, I will review your craft, I'll build stuff for you. I built Draki 3 for the General, as an example. What else? That's basically it. Also, Patreon, you get to see videos early. I keep forgetting to mention that. It's really stupid. You get to see them anything from like a day to like a week earlier than you get them on YouTube, with no ads. I keep forgetting to mention this because I'm bad at promoting myself. Also, check out my Twitch. I do art streams, I do From the Depths streams, I do other video game streams. It's a great time. No pausing. We want to see the guns fired to the very end. And, well, play around with Draki 3 if you want. Workshop link will be down in the description. And I'll see you next time in From the Depths. Farewell! The dragon got her nose blown off! Somebody take her to the dragon hospital!